my people? Today, we're talking about 10 signs of gaslighting. You ever wondered if you're being gaslit? Maybe something's not quite right at work and you're like, is somebody gaslighting me? I'm going to give you 10 signs. By the end of this video, you will know. You will know whether you're being gaslighted. And if you want to know what to do about that gaslighting, if you need strategies and techniques, you have found the right channel because I got it for you. Everything you need to stand up to and stop gaslighting at work. So let's dive in. And before we do, hit that subscribe button. And if you really want to stay on top of things, hit the little bell so you can be notified every time an episode drops. So let's dive in. Okay, so what are the 10 signs of gaslighting? I'll start with number 10. A sign that gaslighting is happening at work and it's happening to you is when you're sitting in a meeting and somebody says something that you know is false. You just know. You were either there when it happened, there when it was discussed, whatever the case may be, somebody at work tries to pass something off as truth when you know it is not true. And you're so caught off guard because you're like, are they trying to get away with that as the truth because I was there? It's not true. And if they're passing it off and you're starting to be like, well, maybe it's just me. No. Chances are it's called business lying. And you are being gaslit into complicity with whatever that lie is. That's number 10. Number 9 is you get the feeling like you're the only one that can see what's going on. I call it the Emperor's New Clothes effect, right? Remember in the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, the whole town got bamboozled into believing that these very fine, fabulous tailors were developing only the best clothing possible, the finest, when really they were making people walk around naked. And if you dared to say a word about it, you were shamed and shunned. And so eventually the emperor starts walking around naked as a jaybird and the child is like, he's naked, right? And everybody tries to gaslight the child. No, he's in the finest clothes. And the kid is like, no, he's naked. If that feels like it's happening to you at work where you're like, am I insane? Or is this BS? Is this hot garbage? Is what we're doing stupid or unnecessary, whatever the case may be? If you are feeling like you are trapped in an Emperor's New Clothes moment, you're probably being gaslighted, which leads me to number 8. Do you find that if you don't just go along with it, if you do call out something, there's repercussions for that for you? Are you being punished for calling out that the fact that the emperor has no clothes on? Is there a shunning that is happening for you to express a dissenting opinion? That's usually a sign of gaslighting too, because what gaslighters do is they control other people. And one of the main forms of control they have is shunning, shaming, ostracizing, icing, right? Maybe you say to someone in a meeting, whoa, wait a minute, that's not what I remembered. I remembered X, Y, and Z. And then you notice that you are treated badly after that. The person ices you or ignores you or excludes you. Probably gaslighting happening. Number 7, another sign that you're getting gaslighted with a decent amount of frequency is you start asking everybody else for their opinions. You just want to get as many opinions as possible because you are so nervous that you're going to fall out of line or say the wrong thing or set off the wrong tripwire. Because if you're being gaslit at work, you're living in this state where you can't really tell what's real and what's not real because the rules are constantly changing. The sands are shifting, right? And if that's happening, suddenly you don't really have an inner voice anymore. You're just always asking for other people's opinions. If you find yourself doing that, chances are that is a defense mechanism against gaslighting. Number 6, you're feeling a growing sense of unease. Like this growing sense, like the crabs that are in the boiling water. They start the water off warm and slowly crank up the water until the crabs they're like, oh my God, we're boiling to death, right? That growing sense of unease that might be coming up inside of you, like something's not quite right here. That is another sign that you are being gaslit. Number 5, are you leaving meetings feeling deeply confused? Like, what just happened? What did we agree to? What's going on? If you are leaving meetings feeling confused, oftentimes, and I have seen this over and over again in corporate America, where the management team will come up with this really complicated, overwrought, quasi-basic new corporate strategy and roll it out as if it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And people leave going, am I the only one who doesn't understand what this means? Am I the only one? I remember so clearly we had a new corporate strategy. This was back in the .com days, and the business was imploding. It was things were falling apart, and the company, in a last-ditch effort to try and reposition itself, came up with this crazy concept and strategy that I will not name because I do not want to get anybody in trouble, including myself. But they rolled it out to the company, and all of us left the meeting like, what the hell was that? But we didn't want to say anything because maybe it was just us. Right? If you are leaving meetings profoundly confused, chances are it's gaslighting. Number 4, if you find that your self-confidence is really shaky around certain people, it could be that they're intimidating and scary, but it also could be that they're gaslighters. And when you're around them, you don't trust your own version of reality. That sort of degrading sense of self-confidence is a surefire sign that you are at a workplace that is gaslighting you, whether it's the environment or specific people. Number 3, you will know if you're being gaslit quite often because after you've been gaslit, that person that tries to convince you that you're out of your mind or that you misremembered or they're trying to rewrite your narrative in your mind, after that conversation, you might find that they are so nice to you. They want to get to you and turn you over on their side before you have time to really process how crappy that conversation was or the fact they just tried to talk you out of your point of view. They will, it's like love bombing, right? It's like they shower you with praise or positive attention because they want to make sure that they have flipped you, right? Your instincts may be telling you A, they want you to think B. And so they will work you and work you and work you in that meeting, in that conversation. And before you get the chance to walk away and be like, wait a minute, no. They get you alone, and they shower you with praise so that you think you are in their inner circle, and they make it a loyalty thing, right? Or like, gosh, I can't really call them out because we're such good friends and we're in such a good place and they were so nice. That's a sign, beware. Number 2, a telltale sign of gaslighting is when somebody just tried to talk you out of something in a meeting. You've just been gaslit and they're like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. In the back of your mind, you're like, I'm kind of under pressure here, but I'm pretty sure that's not what happened, but I don't know, I'm under pressure, right? And in the meeting, you sort of back down, you let it go because you don't really trust your memory, but then you leave the meeting. And when you're calm and collected, you're like, wait a minute. I do remember. Now that I'm calm and collected and I'm not panicking and feeling attacked and hounded, now I remember I am right. That's a surefire sign of gaslighting. That is a definite signal that you are being gaslit. When the dust settles and your memory comes back online, because remember, when we're freaked out and panicked, we lose access to the part of our brain that is able to process and remember and empathize and strategize and problem solve. And so when we're safe and we're relaxed and we're away from the gaslighter, then we might be like, wait a minute, I do remember and I'm right and they're wrong. That's gaslighting. You've caught it after the fact, but that's gaslighting. And you shouldn't feel bad that your memory was a little wonky when you were under so much pressure, because that is literally the design. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you feel attacked and flustered so that your memory will be faulty. But once things calm down, call that memory back up. And if you were right, you might want to consider talking to them about it. And if you need tips on how to do that, I got a whole bunch of videos for you on this channel. But number 1, the number 1 sign of gaslighting is that you fundamentally doubt your own ability to read a situation. If you have been worn down and beat down and spun around 150 times in each direction at work, it erodes your sense of confidence and self-trust. If your self-trust is getting eroded and you no longer really trust yourself to read a room properly or read a conversation properly, that is a sign that you have been gaslit repeatedly. And my friend, I don't know how loud I could shout this through this camera, but be careful. Do not stay in an environment where they are taking away your sense of self-trust, your sense of self-confidence. Get that resume dusted off, right? If you're in a position of power and you can affect change, affect that change. But do not let the situation continue. It's too dangerous. It's not worth your self-esteem. So I hope that was helpful. Those are the 10 signs of gaslighting. If you need help with interventions, with knowing what to say, with knowing how to call out a gaslighter, with knowing how to expose a gaslighter for what they are, head over to these videos I've got so many different resources for you. And I really, really want you to know you don't have to stay in this situation. You don't have to accept this situation. Do what you need to do. Stay strong, stay grounded, and shine on. We need your light. Thank you for watching.